Hello everyone, welcome to Willadine's Kitchen. Hope you're having a good day. I want to thank all of our subscribers. We have over 500 subscribers now. I want to thank each and every one of you. We appreciate your support. Today's video, we're going to have a steak sandwich. So we're going to jump right into this and show you what we have here for our ingredients. Of course, we have a steak. We got a New York strip steak. This is a whole steak. It's going to be a steak sandwich, not a cheese steak sandwich. But we are going to put some cheese on it because I have some cheese over here, and we also have some arugula. We may put some arugula on there as well. For our bread, we're going to make our bread today. So in this bowl over here, I have 1 cup of whole wheat flour, 1 cup of white flour. This is all bread flour, and 1 teaspoon of salt in this bowl here. So we're going to have what I call a light wheat bread that we're going to make for this. We're going to make a starter for our bread. So we have 1/4 cup of milk, 1/4 cup of water, and an 1/8 cup of bread flour here. We're going to put this in a little pan, and we're going to cook it together, and it's going to make kind of like a paste to get our dough started as well. And then we also have our yeast, our sugar, teaspoon of yeast, 1.5 teaspoons of sugar. We have 2 tablespoons of butter and 1 egg. And to the yeast and the sugar, we're going to add 1/3 cup of water, warm water, to this mixture so we can activate our yeast. So I'm going to show you how we get this done. It's not hard, it's easy, and it's a very delicious sandwich. So we're going to get started. Okay, so we're going to get started on our starter mix here. So we're going to add the milk and the water to the saucepan. We're going to add the flour in here like this, and then we're going to cook this. It's going to form what looks like a paste, and then we're going to add that to our dough mixture. This makes our bread a little softer and adds a little flavor to the bread as well. So okay, so we have 1/2 cup of water here. We're going to add our sugar to the water. Stir that up in there. Now this water is warm. It's not very hot. You don't want to kill the yeast with boiling hot water, but you do want the water to be warm, and I could feel it through the glass here. So we added the sugar. We mixed it up a little bit. Now we're going to add the yeast. Mix that up in there. And after about 3 or 4 minutes, maybe 5, you'll see this yeast start to kind of bubble up a little bit. That lets you know it's activated, and it's going to help your dough rise. Yeah. Okay, so I set up my stand mixture with the dough hook in there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the flour and the salt, and I'm going to mix those up good here in this bowl. And then I'm going to pour that right into the mixing bowl. Just like that. And I hope you can see that our yeast is activated now. It's getting kind of frothy on the top. I guess that's one good way of describing it. So we're going to add our yeast to the flour. Just add that in there just like so. We're going to add our egg as well. I'm going to start the mixer. Okay, so I got the mix started. We're going to add our starter that we prepared on the stove. This is just flour, milk, and water. Add that right into here. And I'm going to start our mixer again. And as this mixes, we're going to scrape down the sides as well. so all of the ingredients will get incorporated into the dough. Okay, now the last thing I need to add is our butter. So we're gonna, and this is room temperature butter. We're gonna add that into the dough, and now we're going to start the mixer and we're gonna let it run for 8 minutes. This is our dough after 4 minutes. Okay, so our dough has been mixing for 8 minutes. We're going to take it out of the mixer now. Okay, so now we got to get our dough out of the mixing bowl. So I'm just going to turn it out onto the counter here. Okay, we have the flour turned out now our dough was a little sticky and wet. So what I did, I ended up adding another ½ a cup of white bread flour to the dough mixture. So we have 1 cup of whole wheat flour and we have 1.5 cups of white bread flour. So we're just gonna knead this out a little bit. It's nice and soft, feels good. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do what we gonna make a little ball here of the dough ball, just like this. And this is what our light wheat dough looks like. We're gonna make some sandwich rolls with this for our steak sandwich. So we're gonna put it in this bowl, which has been has some oil in it, and we're going to cover this up and let it rise double in size. Okay everyone, we can see our dough has risen. It's at least double if not triple in size already. So what we're going to do is we're going to hold off on this for 1 minute while we get our steak ready. Okay, so here is our New York strip steak. We're going to season this steak, and then we're going to use the meat mallet. We're going to pound the steak down. The steak is pretty thick right now, so what we do when we pound it, not only does it tenderize it, it kind of spreads the meat out just a little bit, so we'll have a much larger piece of meat to put on our dinner roll or our sandwich roll. So we're going to get it seasoned and pounded. Okay, so this is our bread dough. Take the plastic cover off. And as you can see, we had a much smaller dough ball earlier, so it has risen very well. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn this out onto the counter, just like so. What we're going to do here is we're going to make some sandwich rolls out of this. So I'll have to divide this dough up. All right, so we'll cut this in half. And we'll cut this in half, or in thirds. So it looks like we should be able to get maybe a good 4 or 5 sandwich buns out of this. So this is how we get started here. We take our dough and then we kind of fold it over towards the center like this. And then we're going to roll it out into a ball like so. And we're going to take this piece of dough right here and we're going to place it on our parchment paper. So we're going to do the same thing over here. Give it a nice round shape. And then place it on our parchment paper. So I'm going to finish these sandwich rolls up and then we'll let them rise about another hour and then we'll put them in the oven. Okay, our sandwich rolls are made. We're going to let them rise for an hour. Then they go in the oven, 385 degrees for 20 minutes until they're nice and golden brown. All right, so we have let our sandwich rolls rise for an hour. So I'm going to remove this plastic here. And they are at least doubling size, which is good. So what I have here, now first I want to tell everybody, you don't have to make your own rolls for the steak sandwich. You could always buy some hamburger rolls or some Kaiser rolls and use those already prepared, which would save you a lot of time. But I like to make my own, so this is why I'm showing you how I do it. But so we're getting our oven hot, and what I'm going to do now is I got some buttermilk in this little bowl here. So we're going to brush the tops with some buttermilk. That helps them get a nice golden brown finish on the top. And then we're going to put these in a 485 degree oven for about 20 minutes. We'll check on them after about 15-16 minutes to see what they look like. And then it'll be time to cook that steak and get this sandwich together. Okay, so our rolls baked about 18 minutes. They're nice and brown. I put some toppings on a couple of them, some black pepper and some steak seasoning topping on them. And we have to let these cool now, and then we'll cook our steak off and we'll make our sandwiches. Okay, everyone, so here's our finished steak sandwich plate with our homemade bread and our homemade potato chips. I kind of threw those in there as a added surprise or added bonus to make this more of a meal here. So we got the homemade potato chips, we have some spicy tomato sauce, and we have the steak sandwich. We have some horseradish aioli on the bottom of the bun. We have some pickled jalapenos, some fresh tomatoes, some arugula lettuce. We have some caramelized onions and some roasted red peppers with the steak, the cheese, the pickles, the sweet pickles, and some aioli on the top. So this is a really complete sandwich here along with the potato chips. So what we're going to do is we're going to taste one of these chips here. They're nice and crunchy too, and they're fresh. So just put a little dip in there. Oh, that's good. I don't even know if you can hear those potato chips crunching there, but those are good. The sandwich, I'm not going to taste it now. I'm going to save it for later. This is for, I'm going to serve this to someone else. But anyway, this is a great meal. I hope you enjoyed our recipe. Please stay tuned. And I want to thank you for viewing and supporting our channel. You have a great day. Thank you.